Almost all commands in SolidWorks are based on, or at least dependent on, some kind of sketch. Today we will examine the tools with which you can sketch whatever you want. Firstly, we will examine plane sketching. To explain, you will need the plane to sketch on. It can be a flat face of an object, or one of the three initial planes, or a new created plane. After you select your plane, you will see the origin, the point that is always the center of the plane, and indicates the horizontal and vertical directions. It is a good idea to start all your sketches from the origin, since it will always be fully defined. Now you can start sketching. All features can be used differently, but we will cover the basic and important use of each element. SolidWorks' illustrations and descriptions are good in explaining how they work. Lines are used to draw straight lines. You place the initial point, then you place the next point, and then the next. When you want to finish placing points, just press Escape. You can also use a center line, which will only display for geometric and sketching purposes and will not count toward the sketch when it is used for a feature. After that, you have circles, rectangles, sectors, ellipses and parabolas, slots, and regular polygons. Sketch fillets replace rough corners with circled edges. The spline is a curve that you can define by placing two or more points, like the line. You can modify it using the handles on each point. Note that closing a loop of a spline will make it automatically smooth. Sketch planes create planes that can only be used to sketch on and hide with the sketch. To define one, you need 3 points, a point in a line, or another plane or object side. You can also add a lonely point. You can also add lettering on the sketch, and choose the font and size, among other things. Concerning the things we said in the beginning, you can also sketch without choosing a plane, but choosing a 3D sketch. It is mostly used to join edges or features together fast and is not used for brand new sketches. Smart Dimension lets you dimension all the features in a sketch, so you do not have to worry about making them precise and exact as you sketch them. The next commands make sketching a sketch much easier and faster. You can transfer another sketch or feature of the object to your plane as a sketch by selecting it and pressing the Convert Entities option. If you want to cut a plane or feature that sticks out, you can do that with the Trim Entities command. It can work in many ways, so choose your preferred one by trial and error. We personally prefer the Power Trim option that cuts all the features the cursor meets while pressed down to the closest meeting point. You can offset some sketch features by a set distance with the Offset Entities command. You can choose whether to keep or discard the initial sketches. You can mirror or repeat the sketch using the Mirror and Sketch Fighter commands respectively. They can use a point or a center line as the direction or reflecting reference. Move Entities moves the entities by a specific x, y value. The rest of the commands are scarcely used and you are free to explore them by yourselves. Concerning the fully defined remark I made earlier, you will see a comment from SolidWorks about the current sketch. Defined in this context means whether all your sketch features are dimensioned and fixed. Underdefined features will be blue in the sketch, which means they are not defined by a dimension and you can drag it with the mouse. Fixed elements are black. In engineering applications, it is important, or at least desired, that all sketches are fully defined. Also note that putting too many dimensions in a sketch will make it overdefined and SolidWorks will treat this as an error. Remove duplicate or conflicting dimensions to fix it. Another helpful feature is that you can add geometric relations to various sketch entities. For example, you can make two circles concentric, or two lines parallel. The choices are too many to list, and there is a relation for any geometric application. If it is not, construct additional construction lines and add relations to them. Also note that SolidWorks automatically displays points of importance, like the middle point of a line or the 4 extremes of a circle.